Hello, family, and welcome to another episode of W.H.O.L.E with Camille Young. Yep, that is me. Thank you so much for being here with me on today. To my holy rollers, how are you all doing today? My new viewers, welcome, welcome, welcome. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. So glad that you are here on today. Yes, y'all, my book, it's coming down to the final stages, you guys, and I'll be making some announcements in the next few weeks about the launching of the book, all of those things. So it's really, really exciting. Y'all, I just can't believe I've even gotten to this point. You know, it's really, really unbelievable. So again, I'll be sharing that information once it's confirmed and everything everything is complete. So I am super duper excited. I've been talking about it for a while. But wanting to make sure that everything is done properly. This will be my first time publishing anything, so I want to make sure it's tight and right. You know, I ain't putting out no junk. You know, so just want to make sure everything is in its proper place and all my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed before I publish it to the world, before I show my baby to the world. So thank you so much for being a part of this Holy Roller family. If you need to reach out to me, you can reach me at O2BWhole@gmail.com. Again, I have apparel that is for sale, as well as if you need some coaching support, coaching around your relationship, your personal life, even domestic violence, or even some grieving. I would love to give you that support that you need. Again, reach me at O2BWhole@gmail.com. All right. Well, today, you guys, I'm going to talk about something that's a little heavy, but I just want to make sure that we walk through life not walking in unforgiveness. Okay. Today's topic is about forgiveness. I've found that there are so many people who are going through life who have been hurt, who have been abused, who have been misused, who have been, slighted, all of these things. And because those things have happened, they are walking in unforgiveness. Okay. I've been guilty of it as well, where you've been hurt so deeply, where you've been manipulated, you may have even been betrayed. And to think that you have to forgive a person or people for what they've done to you, and you may not have had anything to do with why they did what they did to you. But at the end of the day, you guys, we have to forgive. We have to forgive. We have to get to a place where, you are open to saying, hey, this person did this or these people did this, but I cannot bear the weight any longer of walking in unforgiveness, or, every time I think of them, I think of hate, or I think of retaliation, or I think of revenge, or I'm not even myself, when I think of this person or these people. And we can't live life like that, because really we're the ones who are imprisoned. When we're walking in unforgiveness, we are the ones who are, we're holding, that those negative emotions and those negative feelings within ourselves, because the person that may have done this to you, they may not even be caring about it anymore. They may have moved on with their life, but you are still holding, on to, whatever they did to you. You're holding on to, the hurt. You're holding on to the pain. You're holding on to the trauma of what has occurred. And walking in unforgiveness, again, only holds you back. It only keeps you from being able to live the free life that you need to live in order to be prosperous. And I'm not talking about monetary prosperity, which is good, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about prosperous in your mental health, prosperous in your physical health, because see, those two things are directly connected. When you are dysfunctional in your mental and emotional health, that directly impacts your physical health. Okay, that directly impacts that. And I want you to understand that Unforgiveness is something, especially if you're a believer in Christ, that's something that is required of us. Even Jesus, when he was on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. In the midst of them doing, crucifying him, in the midst of them spitting on him, in the midst of them mocking him, he still was able to forgive. And I know for some of you, it may be a process, but y'all, we cannot allow the process to take, 5 years and decades and all of that. Now, I'm not saying that you will forget what has happened, but we have to forgive. We have to forgive not only the person, but even ourselves. We have to walk in forgiveness, because life, I said this many, many times, life is too short. And you don't want to leave here knowing that you have not properly forgiven. The Bible talks about, if you haven't forgiven, how do you expect God to forgive you? So we've got to walk in forgiveness. You don't want a person to leave, meaning die, and you are still walking in unforgiveness, and you have not settled the score. And when I say settled the score, meaning gotten it right or made the attempt to get it right with them. That has to be a terrible existence, to know that you no longer have the opportunity to right something, or at least make the attempt to let this person know that, hey, I forgive you, or hey, I've moved on. You can no longer do that because they have died before you allowed yourself to get that right. This is how I live my life now. I want to keep short accounts. And when I say I want to keep short accounts, I want to make sure that the people that, especially those who are close to me, if I have done something, there's an infraction that I've done, or I've done something to offend, and I know that the person is offended, or there's a possibility that they've been offended, I try to go get that right. I try to go get that right, because broken relationships, that's never a good thing. I don't want to go through life with a bunch of broken relationships. I mean, what type of person are you if you are okay, especially when we're talking about family and close friends and close relatives? If you're okay with your broken relationships, there's something wrong with you. It's something that you are rotting on the inside. If you can live your life knowing that you have broken relationships that you can help to repair, or that you can at least make the first step to try to right it on your end. You can't control what somebody else does. You can't control if they accept it. You can't control how they respond to how you approach them with this. But all you can do is control you. And it is incumbent upon you to make sure that you try to keep short accounts. Make sure you try to right the wrongs. That doesn't mean that person has to be your friend again. That doesn't mean that you bring them close into your bosom like that again. Now, sometimes that can happen. Sometimes relationships can be fully restored, and hopefully that can be the case. But in some instances, those relationships cannot be fully restored because of what happened. But you can put it in a place where you both are cordial with each other. There is no hate. There is no dislike. There's no disdain. There is no resentment. There is no unforgiveness there. You need to clear your slate. You need to clean your heart out to make sure that you're doing all that you can to make sure that you are walking in forgiveness. Y'all, we're coming into a new year. And what better way to start the new year with trying to right wrongs, trying to, restore relationships, reconcile relationships that have been torn apart. Why go into 2022 with the same mess? Why? We can't go into 2022 with the same mess. And again, that doesn't mean that they will respond in the way that you want them to. That doesn't matter. Do your part. Do your part. Okay? And go into 2022 with a new slate, with a clean slate. Y'all, the new year is upon us. People are dying every single day. Don't waste time what you're gonna do. All right? What you're gonna do and you never do. And then that person passes off the scene, or you pass off the scene, or something horrible happens and you're not able to get that right. And then you got that left on your conscience. that you never got a chance to get that right. So I just want to encourage you once again to get those things right that need to be right in your heart with those relationships that are broken, those relationships that have been fractured. Try to find some reconciliation. Try to find some restoration. And even if the reconciliation and the restoration does not occur, you've done your part. You have taken the steps that you needed to take to try to get it right. Okay, and then the rest is left up to them. You can take that off of you. Okay, you no longer have that blood on your hand of not getting it right on your end. Okay, all right. Walk in unforgiveness, y'all, and it frees you. You want to walk in freedom. You want to be set free from the chains and from being bound and heavy laden and to a place where you can't even live your life. You got frown lines and looking like you're mad all the time and all of this because you wear that. You wear that stuff. When you walk in unforgiveness, it's in your disposition. And we don't want to have that disposition going into 2022. All right, so get those things right. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of O2Be.Whole with Camille Young. Be sure to reach out to me at O2Be.Whole@gmail.com if you want some apparel. This is not necessarily a shirt that's for sale, but there have been other shirts that are for sale that I've worn. And reach out to me. All right. If you would like some coaching support, do that as well. And as I mentioned, got big announcements coming up around my book that will be released very, very, very soon. So thank you again for supporting me. I appreciate you, y'all. And until next time, God bless.